Hey guys, so I'm back. I wanted to film some more immigration videos. Shocker, because last video I just kind of wanted to get something up already, so didn't really go too into depth into certain subjects. So I want to break it up this time so I can give more detail, give more information, explain things a little bit more in smaller videos. So this first one is going to be about immigrants, specifically Mexican immigrants, and the U.S. labor force. Okay, so first I want to start by saying that the Mexican immigrant population in the United States is roughly 11.7 million. And so actually, Mexico in the past used to be the #1 source of immigrants, and now in 2017, Mexico is no longer the biggest source of immigrants, and China and India are actually beating Mexico. So let me show you guys a graph just so you can visually see. Okay, so this is a really awkward view of this TV, but so this blue line is Mexico's immigration trend. I don't know, I said trait. And then orange is China, and purple is India. And as you can see, China and India are currently beating Mexico's population number, and Mexico had a steep decline. So that just proves that Mexico is no longer the biggest source of immigrants. Wait, let me see if I can flip the... Okay, no. Well, I don't know if you see that backwards, but we'll roll. Okay, so then according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2016, hold on, I have everything pulled up on my computer screen, so if you see me looking over there, that's why. Okay, so Hispanics accounted for 48.3% of the foreign-born labor force in 2016, while Asians accounted for 25%. So obviously, Hispanic immigrants, are a huge source of the labor force here in the United States. So by eliminating that source of human capital, we are going to have to make up a lot of these jobs, and employers are going to lose a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of efficiency. So like I said in an earlier video, we really need migrant workers. And so then I just want to talk about the labor force participation. So for Hispanics in the United States, 67.9% were part of the labor force, so they were participating in the economy, versus native-born whites labor force participation, which was 62.4%. So then more Hispanics in the United States are participating in the labor force than native-born Americans are. So then according to the Pew Research Center, and I chose this because it's a neutral research center, it's not biased, it's reliable. They actually made a very handy map, which I will show you guys here. Alrighty, so this table basically shows what positions in the labor force are being occupied by Mexican immigrants, all immigrants, and native-born workers. So over here we see management, business, science, and arts occupations. And 38% of that is taken over by native-born workers, and then only 10% by Mexican immigrants. But if we take a look at all the other jobs, so the other categories we have are service occupations, sales and office occupations, natural resources, construction and maintenance occupations, and production, transportation, and material moving occupations. In all of these, except for sales and office occupations, Mexican immigrants dominate that workforce. So again, without these Mexican immigrants, we would have to make up a huge workforce. And then if you take a look, actually, like in service occupations, native-born workers are the least employed, as well as in natural resources, construction and maintenance, and production, transportation, and material moving occupations. So we see, again, Mexican immigrants make up a huge workforce in America. Okay, so I'm still reading off my TV screen, so bear with me. So according to the National Agricultural Workers Survey, 78% of farming workforce is undocumented Mexican immigrants. So states like Alabama and Georgia recently they cracked down on illegal immigration, and they implemented illegal immigration laws into their workforce, and this has impacted local farmers very, very negatively. So farmers in states like Alabama, Georgia, and not even just in the South, even states like Wisconsin and the dairy farms, they have lost roughly 40% of their workforce, and lost up to $140 million in produce. I don't know why I just said produce that way. Okay, so they've tried to make a lot of incentives to get American workers to fill up these jobs. So they've raised wages from $15 to $20 an hour. They've bettered working conditions for American workers, and they usually are for illegal immigrants. So stuff like healthcare benefits, pensions, other things like that. And still, they're having trouble. First of all, finding people who want to fill these jobs, and then if they do find workers, they're having trouble keeping them. And then, so I just want to show you clips from this video from farmers in these states that are being affected, and the sort of things they have to say about them.
Well, your people, these people, are taking our jobs.
You know what? That's a myth, Charlie. That really is a myth. Because the reality today is that nobody wants to work in agriculture any longer. It's not an American job any longer. We did a campaign a few years ago, 3 years ago, and we invited people. We called the campaign, Take Our Jobs. People were calling us up, and they were asking, well, is there a limousine that's going to come pick me up for work? Is there air conditioning in the fields, Charlie? I mean, those are the kinds of things that they were asking. Pensions, what are the wages like? And out of the hundreds of thousands of people that responded, 11 people actually went to go work in the fields, and none of them endured.
Keith Smith says most immigration workers left after the law took effect, so this potato farmer hired Americans. Problem is, he says, most show up late, work slower, and are ready to head home after lunch. Some even quit after just one day out in the field.
There's a Hispanic man that works for us, and I say, he's 52, and he'll make anywhere from $70 to $100 a day. I said, if you can keep up with him and do a good job, you can make that. But they're not physically in shape to do it, and, probably not mentally tough enough to do it some of it.
Over on this to make the law a failure.
But when only 5 pickers showed up this morning to harvest his sweet potatoes, farmer Keith Smith saw possible ruin, the loss of his $500,000 crop.
They're running scared because of this new law.
And you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble, bad trouble.
Smith's 200 acres need 20 pickers, mostly Mexican nationals.
There is not enough documented people here to supply that workforce.
Most of your workers are here illegally.
That's sure. If they got documentation, they got a better job working for me.
Farmers gathering for lunch at the local diner are worried.
Putting us out of business. Plain and simple.
With the Hispanic workforce embedded in the economy, there are predictions the law could cost Alabama as much as $10 billion in lost economic growth if people flee.
Fernando Aldeman, a Mexican national, has worked Smith's farm since 1992.
Everybody's just scared.
Yeah.
Now, are you here legally? No.
No.
So, are you scared?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared,
Smith's pickers make about $100 a day. He supports immigration laws, just not this one that threatens his third-generation family farm.
You want to get rid of illegal immigrants, quit eating. And that's for everybody. That's, nationwide. You want to get rid of them, quit eating.
Quit eating. So, yeah, that's a little bit about the Mexican immigrant in the United States workforce. Completely agree with Farmer Smith, I think it was. Just quit eating. If you don't like us, quit eating. Yeah, and legalize migrant workers. Legalize la mota. Just kidding, Mom. That too, but that's for a later video. Okay, so that's first part of this immigration series. Again, sorry for the terrible video skills. Like, still broke, no camera, just webcam. Okay, BRB.